Welcome back to Fog Football. Today we are going to go through the Green Brigade's statement on yesterday's offence and general fan repression. Are you ready? It's a long one, there's a lot of talk here, there's a lot of stuff to get into, but of course we brought you the video this morning talking about the kettling going on. So we'll dive into the statement, and I quote, "Fan repression. Yesterday there was a premeditated attack on football supporters by Police Scotland. We believe their actions were unlawful. We are currently taking legal advice. The actions of the police should serve as a stark warning to all football supporters in Scotland and anyone who values civil liberties. At 10 a.m, the Green Brigade and other Celtic supporters congregated at the Celtic Social Club, which is a routine practice. At this time, there was a considerable police presence. At no point was there any attempt from police officers to relay any information about concerns or expectations of how fans should move to the stadium. Similarly, there was no attempt to share information in advance through mutual channels. Celtic Football Club, as is often the case. At 10:45 a.m, we attempted to depart for the stadium. At this point, around 200 people were kettled on the road. We were told that they were being held until all away supporters had entered the stadium and would then be moved along. After 1 hour, the police informed us that we had been detained under Section 60 of the Public Order Act, the reason given that people were concealing their identity, despite the fact that most people were not wearing masks. When this was pointed out, the concern moved to hats, hoods and sunglasses. We offered to remove these items, but this wasn't accepted." End of quote. So, apparently, so we're looking at about 200 people were kettled on the road, and I've seen reports today that some members of the Union Bears were also not allowed in. The police obviously given the stop and search powers. If people are wearing literal balaclavas and ski masks, if you're listening to this video, right, you can see why the police are going to stop people trying to get into a football game wearing balaclavas and ski masks, right? And if you don't see a problem with those items of clothing, then I don't really know what to tell you. They're normally wore for, well, I'll give you one or two reasons. One, you're an ugly bastard. Or two, it's to conceal your identity because you've got to do something that, might be illegal, brother. Pyro. 9 times out of 10, when you see someone with pyro at a game, they are wearing a balaclava. And here, I've been a very, very big defender of pyro, and I do like it, right? But with these balaclavas and ski masks, I can understand why the police has done this. Now, according to the Green Brigade, most of the people were not wearing masks. And when this was pointed out, the concern then moved to hats, hoods and sunglasses. Well, hats, hoods, sunglasses, we all own them. Not everyone owns a balaclava, but we all own hats, hoods and sunglasses. Now, I'm seeing reports on Twitter that some people wearing masks didn't want to remove masks, right? And then you've got people who they were with, and then the police are like, well, if they're not going to go with you, then they're going to have to take off their sunglasses, hats. There's just so many accounts here. I totally understand the masks situation, right? But we'll move on. I'm not going to... hats are taking the piss, you know what I mean? And especially sunglasses, you know what I mean? You're not going to be hiding a rocket launcher in a pair of specs. You know what I mean? That's not going to happen. Right, and I quote, "In order to leave the police kettle, the following was expected of all individuals, including young children. Submit to police detention, being held by 2 officers by the arms, taken from the kettle and into a further police cordon. Submit to a full body search, including a refusal to privacy for females. Give full personal details, show ID to verify personal details, have hats, sunglasses, scarves and snoods confiscated, have all of the above actions filmed, including ID documents and clothing. Understandably, we are reluctant to comply with these draconian and unnecessary measures, and we are therefore detained in the kettle for almost 5 hours with no access to food, water or toilets, and missed the entire match. In the end, 0 arrests were made, despite the huge sums of public money wasted on the operation. We have since learned through a Police Scotland press release that every person has been reported to the Procurator Fiscal, despite this not being informed to us at the time. While we are clearly angry at what happened, we are more concerned about a pattern of repression against supporters which is increasingly worsening across Scottish football. There is a concerned effort between police clubs, football authorities and others who seek to control the game to abolish supporter groups who do not conform to their agendas or values." End of quote. So, a lot of personal detail talk, verifying it, confiscating sunglasses. That seems a bit mental to me. Anyway, moving on. So let's have a look here. It is no coincidence that this police operation followed sanctions by Celtic against the same people in the same week. Like it is no coincidence that Celtic fills its safety and security department with ex-police. In recent weeks, SPFL, with approval of clubs, introduced unprecedented collective punishment sanctions against supporters. Scottish football has a committed, passionate, creative, and overwhelming positive supporters culture. Instead of embracing this, it is routinely targeted, often leading to many young males being unnecessarily and harshly criminalised. Strangely, yesterday's incident was exactly 12 years since the infamous Gallowgate kettle, which sparked mass demonstrations and ignited the successful Fans Against Criminalisation campaign. In light of recent events, we are calling for a formal review of fan engagement in Scottish football with a view to implementing a format framework for fan engagement at both a central and a club level. It is only through proper two-way engagement with supporters that supporters' concerns can be efficiently managed. We will begin consulting and coordinating with all interested supporters in Scotland on how to achieve this. End of quote. So, I mean, I'm seeing rumours that Celtic might have had something to do with this. Who knows? I mean, I've seen a lot of Celtic fans basically say that they are demanding the board out if this was the case. Is there going to be any proof to this? I'm not too sure. And then our final slide here. To be clear, our concerns are not limited to practices often associated with ultras, but all and any supporter issues. All supporters have the right to be heard. It is only through a formal framework this can be achieved and ultimately lead to supporters' common wishes being respected and interests protected. We would like it noted that the Celtic SLO, John Paul Taylor, spent considerable time at the incident attempting to liaisons and help supporters, and he's given a report of what happened to Michael Nicholson, CEO. We await comment from Michael Nicholson on both the club's prior knowledge of this police operation and its concern for supporters' welfare. End of quote. So, you know, the club's prior knowledge of this police operation, that could set the cat amongst the pigeons, that one. We'll have to wait and see. You know, I'm hearing rumours on Twitter. Can't really put any confirmation to this, but obviously going 5 hours without water, drink, people were resolving to drinking their own piss. I don't know if that's true, but it does sound a bit inhumane. You know what I mean? Stopping people for drinking for 5 hours, but yeah, heavy-handed police, and I'm sure we'll see something of the like, probably similar at Ibrox in the next Old Firm. But we'll see what happens. This, I'm sure there'll be more follow it, and till next time, peace.